If you want to be the feminine, you want to get married young, if you want to go and get the highest potential value guy you can possibly get, do it when you're at 22, 23, when generally men find college-age women the most attractive. Not always. Like, there's some ugly freaking 20-year-olds out there and some good-looking 40-year-olds out there. But on the balance of probabilities, men ages from like 20 to 70, I think 23 was the mutually agreed upon most attractive age for women in general. So if you want to get married and have a bunch of kids, do it when you're 22, 23. That's when you're going to be able to get the highest possible value of man. That's before you're likely going to have a bunch of other relationships. That's before you enter the workforce and, have accrue all this other potential baggage and sort of this boss babe attitude. What's the negative part of that? Now, if you know anything about the government and family law, you're always going to be taken care of pretty much in divorce. But you probably won't have any skills. You probably won't have any say whatsoever on what goes on in the house, because the guy who makes the money, the guy who pays the bills, the guy that puts the food on the table, what are you going to do about it? You're not going to tell me what to do, because when I turn the lights on and it goes like this, that's because of me. When you flip on the faucet and the water comes out, that's because of me. That's something you have to think about, something you have to deal with. A lot of women are like, cool, I don't like making decisions. Passenger princess till I die. More power to you. On the flip side of that, I don't want to have to rely on a man. I want to go get my own bag. I want to make sure that no matter what, I'm taken care of. I've got skills. I've got the ability to do my own thing. I'm a go-getter. I can take care of myself. All fine, well, and good. But on the other side of that coin is the guy that you're going to want to go after eventually, after you've maybe had your fun or you've realized that maybe this isn't for you, probably not the caliber of guy that you could have gotten when you're 22, when you're 23, 24. Yeah, you'll have these skills. Maybe you'll have some extra money in the bank. You'll have some work ethic, but you'll likely have other relationship baggage. You'll likely have, maybe more of a domineering attitude if you got to be a go-getter. So everything is trade-offs. I think that's just the biggest thing that women are not being told, is that you just can't have it all. And so I don't care either way what women want to do, but it's like somebody comes to me and she's like, I want to, and Galena, no offense, but it's like, you want to have a marriage and kids. And I know you said if it doesn't happen, that's okay. And that's fair. But there's been women that have come on the show that are like late 30s, 40s, that are like, I want to get married. I want to have kids. It needs to happen. It's like, I don't know what your options are. Like, you're probably going to have to, most likely going to have to settle for a guy that isn't really about that. Like, the guys that you really want, probably you're looking for women that are like half your age. So in any case, that's kind of my soapbox for the evening. Any comments on that, ladies? Any response? That's more of just like an opinion. I mean, you can disagree with it or you can agree. Like, it's not really a question.
I will say one thing. For me, something that kind of terrifies me is like relying on another human being for something, because I've seen how quickly it could just be pulled out from under you. So I think for me, it really comes down to like, I do have trust issues, and to think that I'm like completely putting all my trust and livelihood into a man that's taking care of me, and then shit hits the fan, and I don't know. It's kind of scary to think you're relying on someone else.
That's a common point. And here's what I would kind of ask you in response. It's kind of rhetorical. You don't have to answer. You can chew on this, but I'm going to do a little bit of thinking here. I'm guessing that your boss or the CEO of the company or whoever signs your paychecks is probably a man.
Yeah.
Are you a 1099 or a W-2? 1099 most likely?
Yeah, 1099.
Okay. So you don't even have benefits, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't even get health care. You don't got dental. You don't got health care. Like, they pay you straight cash. You got to pay your own taxes 4 times a year. So I hear women make this argument a lot. And generally my rebuttal is, what's a better bet? I'm not saying it can't happen, because this can happen to anybody. Anybody can be rug pulled. There's no guarantee that when you get married that you're going to be with that guy forever and he's not going to bounce on you, even though statistics and probabilities say you have a far more likely chance of being married forever. Even statistically, you're far more likely to be married and not be the one that leaves a marriage, or you're far less likely to get divorced than you are to leave a job or to get fired from a job. So it's like you're putting your eggs into this basket of, and I know it's not apples to oranges because you're also developing skills and you're building a resume and you're learning, and I get all that. But on one hand, it's like, I'm not going to trust in a husband and a guy that is going to marry me, give me children, put a roof over my head, work to take care of me, actually love me. And he's with me because he loves me and the value that I provide. All relationships are transactional. Like, that's fine. But I'd rather go and be an employee or even a 1099 contract worker for somebody who literally just sees me as a number. And the second that I don't produce, hit my number, hit my quota, I'm out the door. Even because if you're an employee in America, like, you're generally at will. They can fire you at any, unless it's discriminatory, they can fire you anytime, any place for whatever reason they so choose. So what's the better bet in that scenario? A guy that understands that in relationships and conflicts, you're going to have problems and that you're going to have to work through some shit most likely, versus a guy that's like, you know what, Alexia keeps showing up fucking late. She's got bullshit home problems. I don't give a fuck. She didn't hit her number. She's out. See where I'm going?
Yeah, no, I do. I definitely, yeah, no, you have a point. Definitely the first option. Yeah.
So something to think about.
Yeah. No,
Let's move on. Let's try something different. So I don't know if this is going to work. This is the first time that I've tried this. We've kind of talked about some of these. I'm checking our time. We're about a minute and 15, or an hour and 15 in. So, we'll wrap up in the next 15 to 30 or so, 15 to 45 tops. I know it's late for you, Galena. I've just got 5 questions that I want just hand raised answers to. So basically, hand up if you agree, leave your hand down if you don't agree, and we'll just kind of go one by one. If I got 5 of them, we might not get to all of them. There's a couple that I definitely want to get to. I'm going to star the ones that I want. Definitely
Let's keep
that
them on
one.
The shorter side, because I don't think we can do quite.
Let's just do 2 then.
So.
Because we already talked about, like, one of them is like, I'd rather date an unattractive rich guy than an attractive. We already talked about like rich and broke. So let's do that. We've already talked about like the work and career for family, that sort of thing. We're not going to get into 19th Amendment tonight. I had that written down, but we would have. So maybe we'll table that for next time. All right, cool. Let's go with these 2. So the first one is, we might not actually get off this one. That's why I want to go first. Raise your hand if you agree with this statement. Hand down if you disagree. You can do a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and then do like a middle if you're kind of on the fence. But try to give me one of these or one of these, because this is a little lukewarm. The question is, or the statement is, using the 5 love languages is the best method to ensure relationship success, or subscribing to these, like learning your partner's love languages, making sure they learn your love language. That's the best path to relationship success. Agree, disagree. I'm in the middle.
Can you say that?
Middle. Yeah.
Sorry.
And I didn't phrase it the best, but the 5 love languages is the best framework or best method to ensure relationship success. Basically, I learn my partner's love languages, she learns mine, and that's how we work off each other to ensure relationship success. So I've got a thumbs up from Alexia, I've got a thumbs up from Galena, I believe, and then a middle from Ivani. So Ivani, let's start with you. Like, let's start in the middle and say why you're on the fence.
In past relationships where we have learned each other's love languages, I've learned that, like, what I want to give him is different than he wants to receive, and vice versa, right? And then you get so hyper focused on, well, you said you wanted physical touch and quality time, but I'm out here, doing service, and you're not appreciating that. And it can just get a little too rigid. And so I think every human needs all 5.
True.
I think men, especially the men that I'm dating, they're more active, they have more testosterone, flowing, and they need a lot of physical time with you. And I think if you just focus on that, like, they're going to feel like they're doing everything in the relationship. I think men still deserve the words. I think men still deserve the service. and everything. And just every person deserves all of them, right? And so I think if you learn the ones, they're like, oh, these ones don't matter to them then. And I think that's untrue.
All right, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that clip. If you want to check out the full-length podcast episode, you can find that right over here. Also, make sure you visit my website over here where you'll find my supplements, the opportunity to book me privately one-on-one for coaching, and most importantly, my new School of Unplugging, which you'll find on the courses tab. Newer to the channel, hit subscribe.